Killer Instinct is a fighting game that has its roots in the arcades. Originally it was famous for having ridiculously long combos. The original version of Killer Instinct was released in the arcade of November of 1994, but was later ported to the Super Nintendo in August of 1995. The game was developed by Rare, and their style is evident throughout the game. Rare released Donkey Kong Country a year prior, and it's pretty obvious that the developers are in the same house because the graphics use a pre-rendered 3D graphics in a non-3D game. This graphical technique is called Advanced Computer Modeling, or ACM, and it was used considerably in many games after Donkey Kong Country came out, including Killer Instinct. Like many arcade ports, the console version of Killer Instinct for the Super Nintendo was drastically downscaled in graphics compared to the original arcade release. However, the gameplay is solid as ever. One of the things that made Killer Instinct extremely unique is that it had a black cartridge, and it was one of the only 3 Super Nintendo games that didn't come in a gray cart. Killer Instinct is without a doubt a product of its times. With the soaring popularity of the fighting game genre and big-name titles like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, it's no wonder Rare wanted to make a game in this genre. These games weren't just popular on home consoles, but they were also extremely popular in the arcades of the 90s. Speaking of the arcades, my greatest memory of Killer Instinct in the arcades was when a friend of mine and me were playing Killer Instinct and a guy walked up and said he had winner. After I lost, my friend went head-to-head with this guy. He picked B-Orchid and proceeded to bang out a 100-hit plus combo as his first move. He entered all the button commands and just stepped back from the machine and watched as my friend was completely crushed by the combo. This leads me to the gameplay. Killer Instinct is a horribly unfair game for all the right reasons. If you're a newbie at this game, you will not stand a chance against someone that's experienced. And that's not a bad thing, because you're probably still going to have a good time playing it. Unlike most fighting games that consist of 2 rounds, Killer Instinct has 2 life bars and only 1 round. This means that if an opponent is dominating you, it's that much harder to make a recovery. But it's also awesome because it keeps you in the action during the entire match. Killer Instinct has a seemingly complex combo system, however, instead of entering endless button commands, the game instead allows you to auto-combo once you input a short command correctly. Each character also has their own combos and are usually completely different than all other characters. Generally, they reflect their special moves. For instance, some characters you can just mash forward and medium punch to do a combo, while other characters have much more complex combos. Getting above a 10-hit combo is somewhat difficult, though. I can personally only perform a 9-hit combo. Combos can only be broken out of by using a combo breaker. Each character in Killer Instinct has their own combo breaker, so again, it's not as simple as just hitting some buttons for every character. Between the combos and the combo breakers, Killer Instinct really stresses learning a single character rather than trying to be a jack of all trades. I was actually fairly surprised to find out there was a plot for Killer Instinct. I mean, how are you going to explain how a robot is fighting a dude that's on fire? As crazy as it might sound, they did actually manage to come up with a plot for this game. Apparently, some mega corporation that has replaced all governments in the future called Ultratech holds a tournament called Killer Instinct. In this tournament, they allow regular participants as well as experimental creatures created by Ultratech. And somehow there's a dimensional rift that releases the last boss Idol, and all the characters have their own backstories as well, but, you know, the more I read, the less it makes any sense, so let's just move on. Killer Instinct had a generally positive release when it came out in 1995 and has been called the bastard child of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Recently, Killer Instinct has appeared on many top 20 SNES game lists, and rightfully so. It is one of the most original and well-playing games of the era, tied together with some amazing graphics. Killer Instinct is currently worth a little over $10 according to PriceCharting.com, and this price is actually extremely inflated currently, due to the announcement of Killer Instinct for the Xbox One at E3. Last month, the game was going for around $6, so unless you're dying to get your hands on a copy right away, I would wait until after the E3 hype fades and it returns to a lower price.
Such a feeling, such a feeling.